Hello everyone, today I will tell you about the movie, The Time Machine in the Jacuzzi. And this is Recap Roman, let's go. But before we start, let's play a game about the funniest comment, come up with the most ridiculous name for this video. Well, now let's go, it's 2010, veterinarian Nick Weber is taking another client with a dog. And the client recognizes him as a former member of the legendary Chocolate Fudge group and tells him about it. They happily recall the old days, and Nick wonders if he did the right thing in those days so long ago that he stopped performing and left for such a promising job. Further along the plot, we are introduced to Adam Yates, an insurance agent who hates his job. In his personal life, too, not everything is sweet, his girlfriend throws him and takes his favorite TV along with his things. Also in the basement of his house lives his 20-year-old nerdy nephew, who ran away from home because he does not want to live with his mother and her new boyfriend. Jacob plays all day long in Second Life and Adam asks him to come back to reality at least sometimes. But in response he receives only reproaches. Now they show us Lou in a cool car and who flies into his garage. So they show us that there are no former party goers. He drinks alcohol and has fun in the car to the music, he revs up a lot and from this he gets poisoned by carbon monoxide and ends up in the hospital. Adam finds out that he got to the hospital and rushes there, where he meets an old friend Nick with his wife. He thinks that he took up his old ways and decided to end his life like that. He wakes up and they offer him to go on an unforgettable weekend trip to the ski resort of Adiak Valley. He happily accepts the offer, but is outraged when he sees Jacob in the car. He thinks the Jakes will ruin their whole weekend. On the way, they discuss Adam's problems and Lou's plans for a sea of alcohol. Upon arrival at the point, they realize that everything is not as good as they thought, and the ski resort is going through difficult times. Adam remembers how he broke up with his first love Janie in '86, who then hit him in the eye with a fork. They check into the Silver Peaks Hotel. They are led into the room by a one-armed and not the most restrained porter named Philosophy. And their hopes for a cool weekend fail because they find out that even the jacuzzi doesn't work in this smelly hotel. They open it and see a dead raccoon there. In the evening, they remember how they spent their best weekends here in their youth, and now it has become terribly boring here. Then they notice that the jacuzzi has been repaired and decide not to miss the chance. They get drunk and one of them accidentally spills alcohol on the jacuzzi control unit. The next day they go for a ride on the slope as a result of which they almost cripple themselves. Jacob's snowboard irritates the local instructor and they decide to leave the mountain. But they notice some oddities around, everyone is dressed in retro style and mobile communication does not catch. It becomes more and more strange when they arrive at the base, there is an old TV and it shows Michael Jackson, who is still black. And then they realize that they have returned to the year '86 and are trying to understand what is the matter. They catch Phil who has two more hands. And they understand that it's all the fault of the jacuzzi. Looking in the mirror, they notice that they look the same as in '86, except for Jacob who is flickering. They decide what to do because they got into the times of the Winter Festival of '86. While they are discussing what to do, a man comes to them and says that the remote control is broken and says that they need to fix the jacuzzi to get into the real ones. Before disappearing, he tells them that the whole system will fall apart if at least one part is replaced. They are trying to remember the events of 20 years ago, in '86, Adam broke up with Janie, Lou was beaten by Blaine. And Nick performed poorly in an open microphone competition. And they are all concerned that if they change anything in the past, then everything will change in the present. And they decide that this is their chance to change their fate for the better. When Jacob starts appearing and disappearing, he tells them that something can disappear forever because of their actions. The hot tub master informs Jacob that the key to their journey was the Chernobyl drink, which contains chemicals vital to the time travel process. Adam meets a music journalist named April, but doesn't talk to her because he's afraid to change the future. But still does not restrain himself and decides to talk to her in order to save his relationship with Janie, only to find out that all this time she wanted to break up with him. Adam returns to the room to take substances and write bad poems. Later, he walks around the resort and meets April again. And they get closer. He says that he is a Time Lord and flew to her on a jacuzzi. Nick understands why he gave up his musical career, because his first concert was terrible. The guys are busy with their own affairs and forget to show up for Lou's fight with his friends. Blaine beats him up and takes his backpack with a Chernobyl drink. Later, they go to Blaine to pick up the drink and Lou finds the courage to fight back. Lou also seduces Adam's sister Kaylee and makes love to her. Having conceived Jacob, Kaylee and Phil join the guys. In the end Phil loses his arm from the fact that a car crashes into it. They take Chernobyl and go to the jacuzzi. They spill energy on the control unit and the time machine starts working. When the jacuzzi is already activated, Lou says that he will stay in the past because he likes it here more. And Adam says that he will stay with him since he is his friend. They hug and Lou pushes him into the jacuzzi. They return to the present and discover that Lou, Kaylee and Jacob are a happy family. Leading a luxurious lifestyle because Lou knew what would happen in the future and was able to do everything right. Adam finds out that he eventually married April, and Nick became a successful music producer and even Phil's arm was restored. Adam, Lou, Nick, Jacob and Kaylee meet at Lou's mansion with their families and they are happy with their present. And that's it. If you liked the short review, then subscribe to the channel, like it and write a comment about this movie. Also do not forget that in the comments we are playing a game for the funniest comment. And I had a recap Roman with you and bye to everyone.